Howard Jr. In the news this week. In business news, here's a live look at your 401k. Democratic leadership unveils their latest plan to fight Trump and Elon.
Hello?
On Amber's team tonight, you know him from Around the Horn, Highly Questionable, and his podcast, The Right Time with BOMANI Jones. And we want to thank him for being here because he's stepping in for an injured KYRIE Irving. It's BOMANI Jones. And joining Michael tonight, he is a very, very funny comedian who has written for Saturday Night Live, and his new special, Instant Karma, drops April 1st on Netflix. Check it out when it autoplays a millisecond after you finish Love is Blind. It's my dog, NIMESH Patel. Let's do it. Let's get into the biggest stories of the week. Amber, BOMANI, watch the clip and tell me what's the story.
Okay, so I'm driving. That's planes lately.
Yeah.
That's trains lately.
Yeah.
And that's the Titanic.
Yeah.
So everyone's losing money.
He's fucking up my money.
Yes. Regarding the U.S. economy, there's one word everybody's talking about, but nobody wants to say, what is that word regarding the economy?
Does it rhyme with shremession?
Here's the scary word.
I'm seeing a lot of people worried about a word that starts with R.
That big, nasty R word.
The dreaded R word, recession.
Now, what's President Trump saying about whether we're headed for a recession?
He ran on taming inflation and getting the already very good economy into a better position. And what he's done is the opposite of that.
Here's President Trump answering the question in an interview that aired on Sunday.
Are you expecting a recession this year?
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition. It takes a little time.
You sound like we trying to explain to a girl why you can't go for round two. You know? Earlier this week, this happened.
Wall Street suffered its worst day of the year.
The Dow dropping nearly 500 points today, down more than 1,300 points in 2 days.
That's not that bad, right? That's not...
Lucky for me, all my money's in eggs, so I'm doing great.
Which of Trump's economic policies are being blamed for the current doom and gloom?
Oh, the part where he and his rich little friends take all our money?
But what was the policy that, like, how do you...
I'll explain the policy. Trump and his rich little friends take all our money.
I feel like...
Got it. Why didn't you say it like that? The answer is it's mostly inconsistency around Trump's tariffs.
It's like, you know, he puts the tariff in, he puts the tariff out, he puts the tariff in, he puts the tariff out, then he does the hokey-pokey, and he turns us all around.
Tariff to the left, tariff to the right.
Hands on your knees, hands on your knees.
Everybody tariff wine.
Oh, we are black tonight.
Now, how's Trump's economic team defending the president's chaotic trade policies?
They're lying.
Here's Trump's Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick.
This fucking guy.
Will these policies be worth it if they lead to a recession, even a short-term recession?
These policies are the most important thing America has ever had.
Here's a fun fact from Friday to share at parties.
As of last night, more than $5 trillion in value had been wiped from the markets in just 3 weeks. More money than the GDP of every country on Earth, other than the U.S. and China.
We can lose more than most countries have? I feel great about that. We're number one, baby.
Question, what do you think the CEOs are going to do about all of this?
Absolutely nothing, which is what I would do if I were CEO. You gotta put yourself in the mind of a CEO.
Okay.
Like, who cares about poor people?
This is good leadership talk right here.
Listen, man, someone's got to be the voice of reason in this room right now.
Even though CEOs are reportedly feeling universal revulsion against Trump economic policies, a majority of CEOs said the stock market would have to fall another 20 to 30% before they take a stand.
Life is good.
Do they not own stocks?
I feel like money is their whole thing.
Eggs. They all have eggs.
What is it about CEOs that operate like that, DIMESH? Now, you, for real, legit, have a finance background.
And here I am. Everyone in the business world knew that this was going to happen. Everyone, like, for the first month after November, everyone's like, oh, stocks are going to go up. He's going to deregulate everything. Then they saw tariffs are going to take place. They're like, okay, let's put our money. Buffett put, what, $300 billion to the side.
Really?
And was just waiting, like, okay, when's this idiot going to do what we think he's going to do? And it's another 20, 30%. Plow all your money in and just sit and coast. Until then, eggs.
Here's CNBC's senior economic reporter with his thoughts.
I'm going to say this at risk of my job, Kelly, but what President Trump is doing is insane. It is absolutely insane.
Well, and we could go into the strategy of the insanity as a strategy in terms of our trading.
Insanity is not a strategy. I'm sorry.
Insanity's not a strategy. Everything's fine. Insanity's not a strategy. Excuse me 1 second. On Thursday, Trump dropped his latest trade bomb on our friends across the pond.
The president says he will put a 200% tariff on wine, champagne, and other alcoholic products from the European Union.
That is in retaliation to a 50% tariff that the EU put on U.S. whiskey.
And hitting all of us who enjoy a nice glass of Italian wine or French champagne.
You better not wake up them wine mamas.
As long as he doesn't touch my Canadian-made fentanyl, I'm fine.
Question. What were the latest shots fired in the trade war Trump started with our neighbors to the north, eh?
I heard Justin Trudeau threaten to go in blackface again.
That did happen. After Trump slapped new levies on Canadian steel and aluminum, the Canadian government slapped back with retaliatory tariffs on $29.8 billion worth of American goods. Here's Canada's finance minister.
But let me be clear. This is not something that we want to do. This is not something that we like to do. But it's something that, unfortunately, we are being forced to do.
That's the same shit your mama say before you get your whooping.
That was the cutest accent I have ever heard. I have no idea what that meant. Why you? So cute.
Trump gave Canada a fair and surefire way to end this tariff war and the trade war. What was Trump's offer to Canada?
He said he'll stop it if they give us 50% of everything they own.
No, that was Ukraine.
Oh, sorry.
You got it half right. We will get rid of the tariffs if you give us 100% of everything you own and become the 51st state.
Trump said Canada can end the trade war by becoming our 51st state. That is true. But here's his logic. This is his logic.
It makes a lot of sense. And by the way, when you take away that artificial line that looks like it was done with a ruler, and that's what it was. Some guy sat there years ago and they said, rah. Well, when you take away that and you look at that beautiful formation of Canada and the United States.
Am I the only person to notice that Trump was like Canada, and then he did this?
You're like, Canada got a Coke bottle by it.
Canada got that.
All that syrup goes somewhere, right?
Angry Canadians have been booing the America's national anthem at sporting events, yes, and they've been boycotting American products, yes, but nothing hits harder than what they're doing now.
At first we were afraid, we were petrified.
Oh, yes, they did.
You're not so great. That's not a snowball's chance in hell. Will be your 51st state.
I would rather war.
Uh-huh.